Hello again, I'm T and welcome to my party. So we are returning to Raging Loop and this weird, quirky, just girly things village. We met some students and now we are asking questions about what's going on because, to be frank, it's a little sketch. So, let's continue. Yeah, I was careful on that front. Good. Let's go get ready to go to the dining hall. Oh, for breakfast? No, eat your breakfast now. We'll go to the dining hall to introduce you. Oh? To who? To whoever has a problem with an outsider coming from Saranaga. Oh, so like that T-ball person, huh? I'm in your hands then. It's fine. If you're that grateful, keep what happened this morning a secret. Sure thing. What's Saranaga anyway? That river? Yep, that river's called Saranaga Rapids, but the area around it is called the Saranaga. This place has some cultural significance. It does? Yep, they say it's a corrupt place where the dead return from the other side. Oh, so that's why they reacted like that. Any other rules or customs I should be aware of? Oh, there's lots. So just leave everything to me, alright? Gladly, on all fronts. If I may ask, am I in danger? Nope, but you should try to escape before something unpleasant happens to you. And you're gonna lay the groundwork for that, huh? Yep. The settlement I strayed to was a weird place, but at least the guide was reliable. And she wanted me to leave ASAP, huh? That was depressing. Sorry, my dog is being quite the diva behind me. Chiemi gave me a cup of ramen for breakfast. She boiled the water in a small electric kettle. The girl herself was too hungover to eat anything. I did take the opportunity to pay her back for last night's drink in person, though. Oh my god, she's such a baby. Okay, I have to take another break, and I will come back. What are these boulders? They're like charms, I guess? They've been here forever. I've never seen anything like them before anywhere else. Oh yeah, I guess they're kind of unique to this area. She led me along a narrow path that I followed earlier. It didn't seem like any cars used this one. It was very farmy, I guess? This area was also littered with those boulders. Some were cracked, broken, or buried in the fields. They were clearly religious symbols, but it didn't look like they were all that important these days. Or were they? Now that I knew I was safe, I once again became curious about this place. Oh, there's a person. He was working on the field. That's Takumi-chan. Morning! Chiemi waved her hand. The man responded, but then froze mid-wave. Let's go. Are you sure we should? That guy looked pretty surprised to see me. Don't worry, he'll be at the dining hall soon. We'll explain things then. Well, if she said so. As an outsider, I had no choice but to rely on her. This was the part of the village I saw this morning, where the buildings were the most densely packed. I didn't notice it back then, but it was actually kind of weird. Basically, it felt desolate. The wooden bungalows in particular, they were more or less overgrown, buried in tall grass and other greenery. If this was all I saw of the village and someone told me it was abandoned, I would have easily believed them. However, two of the buildings stood out. There was a hall right behind the hill. It wasn't that big, but it looked grand and well maintained. The other building was obviously the dining hall. Obviously. It looked a bit dirty, but I could tell there were people inside. From what I could tell, it was the most lively place in this poor excuse of a community. Oh, come on, dude. Like, she saved your life and this is her village and you're just gonna say, this place is shitty. I hate it here. It's creepy. Suddenly, the 3 students walked out, chatting about something.
Chine.
Chini and Fusashi-san. Morning again. Aren't you late? We took forever because Mochi doesn't stop saying nonsense. Yes, I am evil. Give me miso soup. Oh, you'll make it if you hurry. Behave in class, you guys. Half dashing, the 3 ran up the path where we came from. They're all in high school, huh? Yep. There's a branch school all the way up the mountain. I was going there myself 3 years ago. Sounds like a hassle. It's not all bad. At least we get to live in that dorm. Chiemi was entirely straight-faced. There wasn't even a hint of a smile. Alright, let's get psyched. Yeah. I am not convinced. We laughed a little and passed the curtain. Welcome. Oh. The inside was as aged as the outside, but it looked well maintained. Is he a visitor, Chiemi-chan? The hostess-looking lady asked. Though somewhat aged and fatigued, she was definitely beautiful. There were 2 others besides her. One was a lady in her 70s or 80s. She was probably the one I saw this morning. The silhouette matched. The other was a man who seemed a bit younger than her, probably in his late 60s. Though they were just sitting there, there was a menacing aura about them. I'll introduce him. His name is Haruki Fusashi. I found him out by the Saranaga last night and took him into my care. Their reactions were powerful. The lady gasped while the 2 elders rose to their feet with alarm. The tension that was already there that moment I walked in reached its peak. I know you're concerned, but this is just a coincidence. Unlike that little girl, he knows exactly where he came from. He went on an old path with his bike and crashed. It's actually really sad. That's why I think we should help him leave. What do you think? After saying all that, Chiemi fell silent. The ball was in their court now. That is troubling. The lady voiced a harmless opinion, careful not to upset the old people. It was pretty clear who was in charge. They were the elders in more ways than one. Chi-chan, why did you even go to the Saranaga at night? I had a hunch, I guess. You know what happened? I couldn't fall asleep. Then he's gotta be a Yamibito. Shut it, Taba. From the conversation, it was pretty clear that something had happened before I arrived here. It was probably similar to what happened with me. She mentioned some little girl. Perhaps there was a child who wandered in here like I did? According to Chiemi, the Saranaga Rapids were a place of significance around here. It was a place in which dead people come to life or whatever. Oh, so this Te must have been the lady that boy mentioned, and the Yamabito must have been the term for the dead who came from there. Apparently, the primary goal here was convincing these elders to approve helping me. Where are you from? The old man's voice put my derailed mind back on track. I'm from Tokyo. How old are you? 24. Older than she, eh? He chuckled. I immediately realized he was taking a jab at me for hiding behind a younger girl. Nice to meet you. I'm Haruaki Fusashi. As she said, I wandered into town after my bike crashed. I seem to be a total outsider here, so I don't want to speak out of turn. That's why I asked her to talk on my behalf, but I think I should say something at least. I won't trouble you any longer than I have to, so I would be grateful if you pardon my brief stay. And please, don't blame her for helping me. Hey, Haruaki-san. I think she went against the village customs by helping me out. The students also seem surprised. My. I'm an adult. I'm willing to take responsibility for any trouble I cause the best I can. So please, put up with me. I bowed my head. He seems to be alright to me, Teiba. I don't know about that. Look at his hair. All colored brown. Shit, I forgot I didn't look very presentable to more traditionalist people. Outsiders are all like that. Just help them get out of here, I says. Do what you want. I guess I got their half-hearted approval. Haruaki. Haru, huh? My granddaughter. What a mess. Oh, so that means you're... Yep. He's Haru-chan's grandpa. Kazuno Makishima. A pleasure. I didn't know what else to say. Haru-chan and I weren't on the best of terms so far. Anyway, it seems like we were past the difficult part. Drove into the Saranaga, eh?
Yeah.
No, actually, I asked for directions at a convenience store, went down a side road, and ended up losing control on an unpaved section. And then you went in the Saranaga. Why didn't you turn around? He wasn't impressed by my choice of actions. It just hit me that I had no idea how much time had passed between the crash and my meeting with Chiemi. Takumi and I will Takumi and I'll go see it. That was such an awkward looking sentence. Takumi's working in the field. It's to get him to leave. Let the boy help. You never change, Kan-chan. What's going on here? We're joined by a new inhabitant. Chiemi, who's that guy? Oh, Takumi-chan. Oh, so he was the one we saw just on the field. Wow, he sure looked big from all close. All that field work was good for his muscles, clearly, and for what I could tell, he was in his 30s. Loves me a bear. No. As Chiemi and I introduced me and told him of my situation, I found out his name, Takumi Muro. Man, that must have been so hard. So, old man Konzo? Well, pick it up. Not so. Teiba-chan, wait a bit while I help the guy. I already spread the stuff on the back of the field, so I'll mow the grass at noon. Yeah, I think that's the voice they gave him. There's too many voices. What a good boy. It ain't a big deal. I'll be so quick you think nothing happened. God, they keep giving him accents and no accents. I'll get all these voices down. Good to hear. Nothing, huh? Boy. Oh, me? What is it? You're in Yasumizu. It ain't a good place. It was the place that wasn't good, not my presence here. We don't like outsiders here, and outsiders should let sleeping dogs lie. So you should hurry and leave. That's the plan. So it's settled? Yep. Thanks, Thanks, Takumi-chan. I was beginning to understand how things worked here. Although Kanzo Makishimi's voice was the most powerful here, it was also important to get Tei-san's approval. Kanzo-san was probably in charge of tackling the sediment's practical problems while Tei-san approved spiritual and moral direction. And when it came time to be civilized, Takumi-san came and convinced Tei-san acted as an intermediary. It looked like Takumi-san himself understood such subtleties, and Chiemi seemed to rely on this side of him. Here you go. The lady brought me some tea to the old folk. Perfect timing. Oh, Kaori-san! Looking forward to getting some food. So that was her name. Sure. I'll make a lot. It'll be a reward for waking up early and working hard. Hey, I'm doing it for Yasumizu, Ba-chan. And you, it's nothing really. Oh my. These two sure seem to get along. They looked about the same age, too. Would you like something to eat, too? No thank you. I already ate. Then here's some tea. I could also get you a light snack if you like. What would you say to some onigiri? Oh, that would be... Sorry, can we borrow the phone? We need it real quick. Oh? Sure. Why not have some tea first? Thanks, but it's urgent. We'll go, Haruki-san. Sure? It didn't look like I could say no. She doesn't want us to eat the village food. Something might be awry. We went up to the nearby stairs to what seemed like a living space. At the end of the creaky hallway, there was a black rotary phone, a rarity in this day and age. This is the only phone in all of Yasumizu, by the way. Seriously? Oh, and not a single mobile phone service provider works in this area. Really? Wait, who do you want me to call anyway? Road service, insurance, stuff like that, and family if you have to. Oh, that made sense. Hell, I should have been the one to say that. Like I said, it would be best if you left as soon as possible, so you should use everything you have. Besides, outsiders ain't welcome here. Yep. And I shouldn't pry any further, huh? Haruki-san, I see you catch on quickly. That's good. But you also seem really curious. It shows, huh? Of course it does. Honestly though, you should avoid sticking your nose into things. Because we'll part ways soon enough anyway. Exactly. That's kinda sad. Oh? You want my contact info? If you're willing to give. Yay! That makes you guy number 53 on the list. Damn. If that ain't a letdown. We still went on to exchange our info. I could only hope that being number 53 wasn't a big problem as it sounded. Anyway, I'd still like to know the reason why you being here is such a big deal. Why me being here is such a big deal. I don't recommend it. But why? Because it would make me upset. You don't like it here? Yeah, I actually hate it. You seem to get along with these people, though. That's just how it looks. I was a huge problem child, so I feel kind of awkward around the older folks here. And there's tons of things you can't see right away. Oh, but I can't say I actually hate the people. With that, I started to stop prying around this place any further. I'd back away before she came to hate me. Oh, can I ask you one thing though? Oh, gutsy. Go ahead. Do you like that Takumi Muro guy? What? Me? Like him? Yeah. No way! Takumi-chan cool and all, but he's too rugged and over a decade older than me. He's out of my strike zone. And he's always only had eyes for Kaori-san. San. It sure felt like it. They married or something? No. Kaori-san's a widow. Well, that seemed complicated. That aside, Chiemi had been acting a bit strange. Why had she dragged me away from the tea? It seemed so awkward, too. Assuming she hadn't been jealous of Kaori-san and simply didn't want her to charm me, it would have meant that she just hadn't wanted me to drink the tea. Why? Also, why'd she feed me cup ramen if I could have just gotten food from the dining hall? Looking too deep into things was part of my nature, though things were never as bad as I assumed. I went on to call my insurance company where I found out something. Apparently, this village was hundreds of kilometers away from the nearest service station, meaning I was ineligible for the normal service and had to pay extra. And the extra was no small amount, too. It was actually over 100,000 yen. Also, I could have avoided this if I had taken a more expensive plan. This was all my own fault for not taking the bike salesman's advice. Shit. I said I would consider it and hung up. Then I went back to the dining hall. Huh? Where did everyone go? The customers had changed completely. Kei-san, Kazu-san, and Takumi-san were gone now. They were replaced by a caricature of a juvenile delinquent. The fuck are you? He shouted at me. He seemed like he was trying too hard. He then slammed his bowl and chopsticks on the table and stood up to intimidate me. I'm Haruaki Fusashi. The hell you wanna go? Goodness. Yoshisugu. You don't talk like that to someone you just met. Shut up, hag. Chini, the hell is this asshole? Haruyaki-san, a traveler who crashed his bike. Boy, was that introduction half-assed. Let me introduce them to you. Oh, this is Kaori Oribe and her second son, Yoshisugu-kun. Yasunaga-kun's the first. Huh? Yasunaga-kun? The guy you introduced me to this morning? Yep. They may not look alike at first, but they're alike, don't you think? The Oribes. What an unpredictable family. Stop talking about it, bro, you ugly bitch. Call me that all you want. I'm confident in my popularity. And from what I've seen, that confidence was well justified. Fuck off back to the city, you idiot. Stupid dumbass. Oh no, Haruki-san. I don't think I can argue with that. What? You were an idiot? Alrighty then. Stupid. You're stupid. Oh, how mean. Join me, Yoshisugi-kun. Stupid. Huh? What the hell? Don't talk shit about Chini. You're pretty conflicted, aren't you? Sorry, Chiemi-chan. I was just playing. Wow. One nice reversal after another. It takes quite a man to surprise me. I just don't want to lose to you, that's all. You dating or something? Boy, did I wish. Wow, he is thirsty. Stop it, Yoshisugu. You're already late. Go out, change and go to school. I did not do that line well at all. Shut up, I ain't going. Mumbling something, the kid walked out of the dining hall, leaving his half-full bowl behind. I'm so sorry about that. How embarrassing. He's a really good boy deep down, though. Yeah, I could actually see that somewhat. By the way, where are Makushimi-san and Muro-san? They went to pick up your bike. Oh no, I gotta hurry up after them. Hey, they know where it is. They'll be fine, don't you think? Well, you just have to set it on neutral and push, but I'm not sure they'll know how to do it. And I, of all people, should help. They might go about it in the wrong way. If that's all, then you shouldn't bother. Why? Because you're an outsider. Because you're an outsider, I wouldn't suggest spending too much time alone with them. They didn't seem that bad to me. That's because they're adults. Don't assume everyone here is as welcoming as me. I'm an exception. You might get along fine, but you might also set them off. This place is already far from normal. Don't risk making it worse. She's right, I say. They insist you leave it to them, so that's what you should do. You think so too? Yes. The men here are pretty serious about Yasumizu having its own way of doing things. I could somewhat understand that. Alright, well, we got some juicy details from the village folk, and I think the food here could be like sort of like a Hades in hell situation where if you eat the food of the underworld, you're trapped here forever. So that's just my interpretation. Whether or not it's true, I guess we'll find out next time. Oh my god, next time. Oh my god. I'm sorry. I'm gonna end it here. My voice hurts from voicing over half a dozen characters. So I'll see you then. Okay. Bye.